Hello, everybody. My name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I'm going to be talking to you today about things I normally don't talk about because I try to be very careful about. Here's the thing. I want to keep the vibration of this channel high. I want to keep the vibration with messages from angels and ascended masters and things that are tangible and helpful for you in your spiritual journey, things that are going to benefit you. I don't, I want to be super mindful whenever I get into more of a 3D energy. So I'll be honest with you. This video is a little bit more 3D. It's gonna be because what this video is about is it's kind of a compilation of different experiences that I've had recently where someone who's in the position of being like a what I'll call a spiritual leader, I'll explain that later, but someone who's like a spiritual leader doing something or saying something that feels very questionable to me. So I'm making this video. Oliver is here, bumping everything around. Are you going to lay down? No. Okay. So, let me just give you my official disclaimer. So, everything that I'm telling you, these are my opinions based on my experiences. I am doing all of this with the highest intentions. My intention is to bring you information that is going to serve your greatest and highest good. I'm a human being. I could be wrong, but everything I'm presenting to you is the best information I can give to you at this time. So that's my disclaimer. If I say something in this video and you're just like, I don't agree with that, this is okay. If I say something to you in this video or any video and it really just does not resonate with you, that's totally fine. Disregard it because you have to trust your own intuition. You have to trust what feels right to you. Do not ever let somebody who's in front of a camera, who's on TV, who's got lots of followers or whatever, don't let anyone else tell you what is best for you. Only you know what is best for you. So that being said, I'm going to give you my perspective on this, which again, I told you, we're going into 3D right now. So for the purpose of this video, spiritual leaders are considered to be people who like call themselves spiritual teachers, people who are mentoring in a spiritual capacity, meditation leaders, yoga instructors, like channelers, mediums, psychics, all of that, energy healers, or anyone who, like myself, presents themselves as like a leader or authority of spiritual knowledge. Because even though I'm not telling you, hey, I listen to me, I know what I'm talking about. The fact that I have a channel and that I'm like projecting out information to the world, that is like kind of the assumption that comes with that energy. So this person does not have to necessarily be egotistical to be considered a spiritual leader. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. So the first thing that these are all just like discernment tips essentially. So the first thing I want to call out is if you're consuming information from someone who lacks humility or does not think they can be wrong, that is a flag. Because no matter what amazing energies we are channeling, hello, Metatron, no matter what amazing energies we are channeling, we are still in a human body. We have an ego that bosses us around that we can listen to accidentally. We can have demonic attachments that boss us around if we aren't, being very mindful. So a person I'm gonna read whatever I actually wrote. A person who is truly channeling or truly connecting with departed souls or guides. Okay, so this is what I wanted to bring up. So here's the thing. If you are working with, or if you're consuming information from someone who channels or is like psychic, you really don't want to put them on a pedestal. Here's why, including me. This is what I'm doing, right? Don't put anyone on a pedestal, because the person who's channeling is is not special. Is like the answer. They are not special. They're what they're able to do is not of their own merit. And what I mean by this is that we can't tell you anything, assuming we're actually channeling. Like right now, I'm just talking to you guys, right? So I can come up with my own stuff and tell you things. I'm speaking from my ego. But when I'm actually channeling a guide, I can't channel them unless they let me channel them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm at their mercy. Like I can sit here and like perform in front of you all day, but I can't channel them unless they let me channel them. So all of the glory for the value of the information that is coming through is, they deserve it. The guides deserve it. Um okay. Back to the notes, because honestly, if I don't follow my notes, I lose track of my thoughts so easily. I have such like attention deficit disorder. I don't technically have it, but I probably very technically have it. Um, it's a blessing for those who want to channel, because I don't know. There's something about the way the brain works when you're easily distracted that also seems to work when I'm channeling, and I don't know what that is, but okay. Let's see. So, oh, I wasn't done talking apparently. Sorry. So, if a channeler or medium has no humility, this strikes me as a red flag, because someone who behaves that way likely has like a demonic attachment, to be honest. If you're really functioning from your ego, you probably have a demonic attachment, because how that kind of works is you're minding your own business, you're talking about something, somebody triggers a wound in you, and when that wound is triggered, you have energies that are always around you, right? You have these wonderful guides that are always around you. You also have like demonic energies and departed souls that are always like kind of floating around everywhere. So in that moment, there's there's going to be a little like demon that's like, they offended you. They're being disrespectful. Like it's gonna come from a place of ego. There's gonna be a thought that enters your mind that's low, and you get to choose. Okay, do I ignore this and do I respond the way I want to respond, or do I really fall into that emotion and be like, yeah, how dare you? And then you get into ego energy, and that is a demonic attachment. It's not that the demon can't come off; it absolutely can. Use my spiritual protection clearing stuff and you can clear it right off. But if you don't change your thought process, if you don't change your perspective, then you're still at that low vibration and more can come on. So you got to take responsibility for yourself and pull yourself higher. Um yeah, lower vibrational energies prey on human vices that involve ego. The channeler or medium is merely the tool. Yeah, I talked about this. We don't deserve the accolades for what we do. We are merely repeating what we are told from spirit. Literally. We're just, I mean, sometimes it's slightly more complicated. Like my information comes in as uh like a package, like an it's like a download. It's like an idea. And then I have to translate it into English, which is hilarious because I'm not even the kind of person that's good at speaking. So it's hilarious that this is something that I now do professionally. um, okay. The next point I wanted to make with you, if you are consuming information from someone and they seem like they are angry or irritated, so this might be subtle, but pay attention. They seem angry or irritated when they speak. That is a red flag because, again, anger and irritation are coming from a place of ego. It's a low vibration. When you are speaking from a 3D perspective, so when I'm saying, oh my gosh, this happened, this person did this. When I speak from that energy, that is 3D. I cannot access Metatron or anyone else that is divine while I'm in that energy. I have to correct my energy before I can connect to them. So if you're listening to someone and they seem a little angry or a little irritated, be mindful of this, be discerning. Think to yourself, what message are they giving me? Is this message helpful for me? Because it's most likely not. So that's kind of my point with this one. I'm sure I said a lot of other things here. Let's see. And so, okay, this is me getting in my ego. I'm gonna have you watch me get in my ego so you can discern this. Um, so these all of us that get in front of a camera, it's very normal and natural for us to be angry at times, irritated. We're still human beings. We still go through all the same human experiences and emotions. But in my opinion, and I'm speaking from my ego now, this is me on my high and mighty chair. Channelers, psychics, anyone who's projecting information out to the public, we should not put a camera in front of our faces unless we have the right energy. Because now, and you can feel the energy change. I mean, I can feel the energy change when I'm talking to you. We are way down here now because of what I'm bringing up. When we do this and we record it, that's the information, that's the energy that's getting projected out to everyone else. And no one else needs irritation energy in their life. They don't need um, any of this 3D stuff. You come to this channel or you come to other channels or other places to consume information to get something different than what's available in 3D, right? So let's see. Sometimes, and I don't, you guys probably notice this, or some of you might, there are sometimes, like recently, I haven't done, that was a couple months, I've been struggling with putting out videos. Like, I like putting out, in a perfect world, I would put out maybe 3 videos a week. There are times when I go like 1, 2 weeks and there's nothing. And that's because if I'm in a lower vibration, I do my very best to not come in front of the camera. I'm like, you know what? We're just going to wait until I feel better. And it's not that I'm like sitting around like angry and throwing things. It's just that my vibration is lowered whenever I'm processing like trauma, which is something we've all been doing for the month of June. And I was doing it in April and May too. So it's kind of been a crazy couple months. But I do my best not to come in front of you guys when that's going on. There we go. Okay, next point. So this one's actually a big deal, and I didn't even know people actually said things like this, and it blew my mind. If you have a spiritual leader who tells you that Reiki is harmful in any way, or if they tell you that Reiki can like block gifts or block your spiritual journey or cause any kind of problems at all, run the other way. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, whoever that person is, turn it off, turn around, like, do not consume information from this person. The reason is that Reiki is working with divine information. So, divine information is of a much higher vibration than what we've got here. It's from divine, right? Reiki is love. If you like really just break it down, Oh, it's light energy. No, no, like really break it down. It's love. Reiki is love. Love cannot harm. Love heals. So you can use Reiki on yourself as much as you want. You can send Reiki to others whenever you want. And there's never a time where you can send Reiki or try to work with Reiki and have it hurt you or hurt someone else. Even if that other person, like, you might send it, and if it's not in their best interests, they don't receive it. Their higher self will be like, nope, and the higher self will block it. And that's fine. Let the higher self block it if it's not in their best interest for whatever reason. But the higher self isn't blocking it because it's harmful. The higher self is blocking it because healing is not what that soul wants. So there's a difference. It's always love. It's always helpful. If someone tells you, if someone is trying to make you fear Reiki, that is a extremely dark energy. That is somebody who is working for the darkness. They may be a wonderful human being, but they have a dark attachment and they are giving you misinformation. So run is all I can say on that one. Other ones that had come up. So I don't think anyone else has come across this situation, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I had come across somebody who had written an article on Medium, and they were talking about shamanic things, and so I was like, "Ooh, what's going on? What are other people doing in the shamanic world? I'm so curious." And so I was like checking it out, and they were talking about mirrors being portals, which is absolutely true. A mirror can be a portal for a dark energy. So it could either have a demonic portal or a galactic portal that's of a dark nature. It's possible. It's not like super common. It's probably not in your house. Um, if you had one in your house, you would notice because things would just be weird and kind of low vibrational. Anyways, so they were saying, you know, that you should be covering all of the mirrors in your room whenever you go to sleep. And I was like, what? If you think you have something weird going on at your place, if you feel uncomfortable with any of your mirrors in your home, just let me know. I can fix that. You can close portals. That's no big deal. So I was just imagining people like following this person and like every night putting a cloth over their mirrors. And I'm like, this is crazy. Why would you live with the portal in your house like that? Anyways, so okay, see, this is me and my ego right now. So mirrors can be portals, portals can be closed. That's the lesson. Okay, my other thing that I came across several times that blew my mind. There are people, I'm just going to be in my, guys, I'm just going to be in my ego right now. There are people who will call themselves shamans who don't behave very much like a shaman. And what I mean by that, because I should be careful with how I say that, that sounds really ridiculous, actually. Um, so, one of the major things that shamans work with are dark energies. Shamans know how to interact with demonic energies. We know how to close portals. We know how to bind up demons. Like, we know how to walk through the astral realm and not get our booty kicked too badly. And so that's part of the job, right? So if you have a shaman who is frightened of dark energies, that is a red flag. If you have a shaman who's like, okay, well, we should do this, but I'm really scared of demons or the devil, so we don't want to do that. Like that's a red flag because you're not frightened of that because you understand how to interact um, and how to work with your guides so that bad things don't happen. So let me see what I wrote on this. Yeah, shamans know how to protect themselves and others from these energies. So, what's there to be scared of if you know how to protect yourself? What's if you are working with your guides and they've instructed you on how to protect yourself, what is there to be scared of? Nothing. Da, 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 da. Yeah, if you have a shaman that doesn't know how to retrieve soul parts, I would also consider that to not maybe really be a shaman or to be a partially trained shaman. Um, yeah. Da, da. Yeah, so they might have incomplete learning, but in general, if they are frightened of dark energies, I would be like, don't go to that person. Okay, kind of in the same thread, another point I have is if you're consuming, and I'm trying to be so careful with this, if you're consuming information from a spiritual leader who like either doesn't believe that dark energies exist, or they believe that they are for some reason completely immune to dark energies, like, no, I don't need protection. I've got Metatron. If like that, if they are bringing that kind of energy, that is something for you to be aware of, because dark energies are very much real. They are very much present. And there's no um there's no magic bullet that can shield you from all dark energy interaction. So it doesn't matter if you're Metatron's best friend forever, you're still on a 3D planet. Guess what? The demons are in 3D, 2D, and 1D. So we are lined up with their energy field. So if you're coming from the place of, oh, yeah, I'm special, I don't have to protect myself. I'm special. My guides protect me. No. Like you might have contracts that do not allow you to interact with like dark galactic energies. That's totally possible. There are many people here who will never interact in a negative way with the galactic energy because it's part of their contract. They don't need it. It doesn't serve them. It's not there. Whatever. Um, Demons, nobody can opt out of demons. Nobody. That is part of our experience here. This is part of the lay of the land of Earth. Um, Let me pull up my notes. So, if you have a spiritual leader who thinks they have some kind of immunity from dark energy and they don't need to protect their energy, this is them having a blind spot in their spiritual health. So, the reason this is important for you is if you are listening to information from someone who has a blind spot in their emotional health, at times they might be channeling of the light, right? They're channeling a higher guide. They can also get an attachment when they've dropped down into a lower vibration, just like a normal human. They can get a demonic attachment. And now, from the podium of I am a spiritual leader, I am channeling divine, I am now going to say things here and there that are not the truth, that are not divine, that are of a low vibration. So it's a very slippery slope. This is why no matter what, even me, even anybody who's like, "Oh yeah, I know I need protection. I use it all the time." That's not bulletproof either. I can clear myself 10 times a day, but if I don't control how I respond, if I don't have a little bit of mastery over my emotions, if I make a mistake and I don't make the best choice for myself, now I can channel lower. So you have to make sure that you're always using your discernment, because even somebody who you love listening to, who you're like, yes, yes, they're always channeling the best things. This is amazing. I love what they're saying. This is helpful. I'm learning so much. always have your discernment there, because every once in a while something might come through and you might be like, well, that doesn't feel right, but it's so and so, so it's probably great. If it doesn't feel right, just slide it to the side, ignore it. And if you're noticing that that person keeps bringing up more and more things, and you're like, gosh, that doesn't feel right either. And then this is becoming a pattern. That means they've really latched onto this attachment and this isn't going anywhere and this is probably going to get worse. So just keep this in the back of your mind. Um, I'm rewinding back in my notes now because Metatron's like, no, go back. Okay. Interaction with both dark and light energies are part of the contrasting experiences that serve to teach us and evolve our souls. I'm going to say this again: dark and light energies, demons and angels, or however you want to think about it. Dark and light energies, we need this contrast to teach us and evolve our souls. This is not something that Metatron or an archangel or any guide would block you from, like demonically. Speaking about demonic energy specifically, they wouldn't want to block you from it because it's part of the reason we incarnated. Dark energies are not something to fear. They are not something to fear. We tend to fear things that we don't know much about. But if you, um, once you start learning about that side of things and you're working with these guides that do know how to protect your energy to an extent, it's not a, it's, I want to make sure I'm accurate when I say this, because when I was learning about working with dark energies, when I was learning how to be a shaman, I didn't know how to protect myself. I was like a little child wandering through hell, being like, ooh, what's this do? Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what if I do this? And so I'm making dumb choices because I'm like a spiritual child, essentially, while I'm learning. And so my guides, while I was learning, 100% protected me. They're like, nope. And even now, they're very considerate with me in the fact that when I go to the astral realm, they block my clairvoyance from anything other than what I'm looking for. So I don't get to look around and actually see what's going on, because if I did, I wouldn't go there because it's brutal. So in that way, they protect me, but I don't consider that protection. That is them being considerate of my experience in order to allow me to do work for the light. Um, if I choose to keep a low vibration, I still get demonic attachments. So nothing's blocking that. Okay. Dark energies are not something to fear. They are something to be aware of to reduce your susceptibility to energetic problems. Just as one takes precautions to not receive like a bacteria or a virus by like washing your hands, or just like you wear a seatbelt, so just in case there's an accident, you don't get really, really, really hurt. Spiritual protection practices are meant to empower you. We don't do spiritual protection because we're frightened. We do spiritual protection because we're like, this is a good idea. This will probably be beneficial. Especially the more you interact with energies. If you are an energy healer, if you are a channeler, if you are a psychic, you need very serious, I say very serious, you need to take energy protection seriously. You need to be using something at least twice a day, or even after every single client that you see, depending on the situation. So just something to think about. If you don't have a spiritual protection process that you are currently using, we have one for free available on our website. I will put a link in the description. We have it in English, we have it in Swedish. It's a game changer. It's easy. You read it out loud or you read it in your head whenever you want to enact it, and that's it. The last thing I have for all of you is that messages that are given by others that create fear or division are not divine messages. Metatron or archangels are never going to come down and be like, "Hey, let's talk about your politics. Let's talk about this president or this Republican or this Democrat or this person running for this," or um, if a message comes through and it's like, "Yeah, the world is definitely gonna end if you don't do this," or "These people are gonna ascend, but like these people definitely aren't," or just like anything that's really causing us versus them kind of mentality, I can pretty much give you like across the board to try to stay away from that energy. Yes, there is contrast, and yes, the world seems very binary at times, but that's not the truth. The truth is never binary. It's never as black and white as we describe it. Even with me, right? Like I get very binary with things and I'll be like, "Oh, dark energies and light energies." Right? Because that's like a simple way for our mind to understand it. But realistically, um only dark energies almost don't exist. Yeah. I've never actually come across a dark energy that was only dark. There's no such thing. Not even the devil, not even the cyborgs. Do the cyborgs have light energy? No. All right, I messed that up. Metatron is like, no, cyborgs actually have no light. Okay, even demons have light, to be honest with you. That's a shocker for you. It's true. Um, it's very little, but it's there. Let's see, archangels are all light. But like ascended masters aren't. Ascended masters and gods and goddesses, they have light and dark. We have light and dark. So I mean, most things are very there's light, there's dark, and there's gray. Lots of different kinds of gray. And that's kind of how our world is. A lot of times we try to simplify it or dumb it down into binary, but it's not really the most accurate truth. Um, Let me see what else I wrote on this one. Higher energies want to comfort you, love you, support you, inspire you, and motivate you to help and heal yourself. High guides don't give messages that are judgmental. High guides don't celebrate when misfortune happens to someone, even if the person who is experiencing misfortune is like a total menace to society. There might be someone on the world stage where we're like, "Ooh, that's definitely a bad guy. I definitely don't like them. They're definitely bad." And then some misfortune might happen to this person that we view as bad. And that doesn't make the archangels happy. They don't celebrate that. If you are celebrating someone else's misfortune, that is dark energy. I don't care whose misfortune it is. That's coming from a very low, very dark place. And so you got to examine that. High guides love everyone and they are rooting for everyone to evolve. So let me see what else I have here. So that's essentially the messages that I wanted to give to all of you. I hesitated to put the information out because I don't want to, again, it's a lower vibrational message in general, right? Because we're starting to talk about 3D things. Whenever you start talking about world events and politics, and in this case, me just talking about other human beings on the planet, you start getting into 3D energy. It's lower. So it's not something I'm going to be doing very often, to be honest with you. But I don't want to cause fear in any of you. I don't want to cause anxiety in any of you. I don't want you to be like, "Oh man, so and so, I wonder if this person is like good for me to listen to or not." If you're questioning it, There's a reason you're questioning it. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So again, if there's something on here that I've said that doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. Sweep it away. Sweep it away. Because it's either not right for you ever or it's not right for you at this time. And either way, disregard. So this is it. I said my piece. I did my thing. I'll include links to the protection ritual if you aren't currently using one. If you are interested in using one, I'll include it down below. This is what I have for you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.